Let's be honest, everything is starting to look the same. The same poses, the same captions. These are the same edited videos with royalty free beats and voiceover quotes. Authenticity is slipping away, y'all. It's being replaced with something like pseudo confidence. It's curated, polished, retouched versions of certainty. And it's disheartening to consider that the genuine raw essence of who we are, our true authenticity, is slowly being eroded, replaced not by something truly strong or self assured, but by a carefully constructed facade. This pseudo confidence feels like a digital filter that's being applied to our very souls and making us appear flawless and certain. But what is the cost to our real selves? It's a sad reflection on a world that often seems to value the polished image over the messy, beautiful truth. But here's the thing about pseudo confidence: it breaks under pressure, it shatters under pressure. If it hasn't been tested, if it hasn't been cultivated through lived experiences or truly earned, it simply doesn't hold. See, pseudo confidence is a fragile facade. It shatters when faced with the weight of real challenges. It's a false sense of confidence. It's unearned, untested, and therefore, ultimately, pseudo confidence is unsustainable. See, true confidence is forged in the fires of experience and cultivated through genuine work and effort. It often has experienced missteps and failures and hard life lessons learned. Because of that, it endures. It's the quiet strength that holds firm when the ground beneath you begins to tremble. What I want to say today isn't just for the people out here trying to find their footing and find themselves, but it's also for the ones who already know who they are, the ones who walk in confidence and are judged for it. It's for those of us who don't compete, not because we're perfect, but because we genuinely don't care who's looking at us, because we're far too focused on the moment. We're too present in the current assignment, and we're too dialed in our own next move to notice the ones trying to copy the sauce. Let's talk about it. As the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders famously declare, often imitated, never duplicated, while they're referring to their iconic high kicks and their flawless appearance and the profound dedication required to wear that uniform with such pride. I'm actually speaking about our very calling. This is the I Lead Misty Blue podcast. My purpose for today is to offer a profound reminder. Authenticity knows no rival. When I say that, I mean this: you can imitate someone's outfit. You can borrow their cadence. You can attempt to replicate their social strategy. You can even copy something as simple as their slide deck, but you cannot inhabit their life, because when real life hits, when the storm comes, when crisis strikes, when you're asked to lead with depth and to pivot, only your inner wiring will hold. That's where the difference shows up. Authenticity cannot be faked. And when you try to, those cracks, they'll begin to show. I see it all the time. Someone borrows a lesson plan. Someone delivers a message that they've heard and they've practiced in the mirror, or they repeat an athletic coach's drill. They've copied a training deck and tried to deliver it as if it were their own. But the real test comes in the ability to pivot in real time. See, if there's a coach, one who's seasoned, refined, gifted, and anointed in their lane, they've already ran those drills. They've probably participated in those drills. They've corrected the stances. They've studied the reps. They've coached through injury, through burnout, through fatigue, and through failure, and they stayed faithful to the work. Then there's the onlooker, the one scribbling everything down, the one attempting to record and attempting to copy. They're watching every single cue. And a few days later, that onlooker, they try to run the exact same drill session. But what happens? See, at first glance, it looks right. But then a player's footwork is off and the stance isn't right. The energy is even off, and that copycat freezes. They don't know what to do in real time. They don't even see what's wrong because they haven't lived the work. They're simply now reinforcing bad habits, and worse, they know it. So now their confidence that was already brittle, it's now shattered. And here's the through line. Inauthenticity, it steals your credibility. And without credibility, you cannot stand in confidence. This happens in the classroom, boardrooms, pulpits. I always say, I live in this work. I don't build from theory, I build from dust because I build from the trenches. And that's why I can flow. But when someone takes a session, one that I've cultivated from a blank slide deck, they take slides and all and even try to take the notes and pass it off as their own. Sure, they might enhance the design. They may add a fancy a transition, but when the real questions during that session come about, the presenter is unable to pivot. When the questions like, why did you frame it that way? How does this work for trauma impacted kids? Or what do you do when the strategy fails? The presenter who copied, they freeze because they don't have the context. They've not worked in the depth. Now, listen, I've been around the church world for years. I was raised in it, and many of y'all were also. So you know how this goes. There's a soloist. Not just talented, but gifted, anointed. They open their mouth in worship and the atmosphere shifts. Then one Sunday, they're out for whatever reason. They're sick or on vacation. And someone else steps in and steps up to say, you know what? I'm going to sing that song that other soloist sang last Sunday. Same key, same runs, same attempt. But what happens? Y'all already know. I've lived church work. That solo becomes the talk of Sunday lunch. And not in a good way, because see, that person had the opportunity. It was the opportunity, the window to bring their own anointing, their own oil. But instead, they attempted to recreate something that was never meant for them. And it fell flat, pun intended. Don't be that soloist, y'all. Don't be the talk of Sunday lunch. Let me break it down even further. I can give you my recipe, but your sauce, it'll never taste the same because it's not about the ingredients. It's about the timing, the fire, the stir of the spoon, the pivot in real time, the extra touch that the chef adds, that one that only they know how to add. You can't fake the flavor. You can't copy the hand that was trained in the kitchen. Same thing with an athletic coach. You can steal the drills, but you don't have their eyes. They've studied to show themselves approved. They know how to pivot on the spot because their depth is real. You can copy the deck. You can present the words, but when the questions come, your credibility will be on the line, and you may find yourself shrinking in front of an audience of people. That's why imitation won't cut it. See, God has given you something sacred, something He didn't give me, and something He didn't give them. So instead of copying, cultivate. Instead of mimicking, master your own. Stand in it, even when it's raw, even when it's still developing, because your sauce hits different when it's seasoned by your own authenticity. This reminds me of a moment. I was walking with a friend after dinner, and she suddenly asked in a very abrupt way, "Doesn't it bother you, the stares, the way people look at you?" I was stunned. I hadn't even noticed because in that very moment, I was so focused and locked in on looking through a boutique window at a green dress. It was ruffled, it was feminine, it was very delicate, and I thought, wow, that is such a cute dress, but it's not for me. I wasn't watching who was watching me. I was in my own moment of admiration. That's what authenticity is, seeing the beauty without needing to claim it. I saw the dress, I could admire it from afar, but I knew I couldn't claim it because it wasn't for me. Admiring a gift without needing to mirror it. I can wear green, just not that cut of that dress. Staying anchored in your lane, even when someone else is trying to drive you off course. See, the onlookers and their stares, they didn't impact me at all because I was too focused on what had caught my own attention. See, I've never struggled with comparison Because my dad, well, he's unique all by himself. He gave me confidence, that is planted, it's rooted. I can recall watching him day after day, not just on Sunday, stare at his reflection in the mirror and say out loud, I am James Green. I'm so good looking. I took notes of that type of confidence. Somehow, it has impacted my very core. That kind of self love, you can't borrow it. You've got to build it. Let's bring the word into it because everything I'm saying, God said first. See, in Ephesians, what did he say? We are called by God. We're his masterpiece. We're created in Christ Jesus to do the good works he planned for us long ago. In Psalms, I praise you because I am what? I am fearfully and I am wonderfully made. In Jeremiah, before he even formed you in your mother's womb, he knew you. Before you were born, he set you apart. And in 1 Corinthians, there are different kinds of gifts, but the same Spirit distributes them. It is the same God at work. See, you aren't just unique, you're called, you're crafted, and you're commissioned for your own assignment. Matthew 25, Jesus tells us about the parable. One servant gets what? He gets 5 talents. One gets 2 and one gets 1. The first 2, what do? They invested. They multiplied what they were given. They worked within what they had, what was gifted to them, and they multiplied it. But that last one, the last one out of fear, out of not knowing what to do, buried his talent. And when the master returned, only the faithful were rewarded. See, your gift was meant to be used, not hidden. Your lane might look different than mine, but it's still divinely assigned. And what you steward, what you work on, what you contribute discipline to matters far more than what you attempt to imitate. So hear me, stop bending your spine to fit someone else's silhouette. I'm going to say it again, stop bending your spine to fit someone else's silhouette. Let God stretch you into your own shape. Admire the green dress, but don't wear it if it's not meant for you. Celebrate someone else's gift, but you don't have to copy it. Your power is in authenticity. Your credibility, it's in your own experiences, and your confidence, that rests in your calling. So mind your gaze. Keep your eye on the assignment, not the applause. Pause in the mirror and ask, is this really me? Silence the shape of what the spotlight can't see. Surround yourself with people who speak life into your becoming, the ones who don't need you to perform to be loved, but who embrace your authentic self. Offer your gifts imperfectly, honestly, and fully, because God can do more with your real than he'll ever be able to do with your polished. And when doubt tries to whisper that you're not enough, remember this: imitation fades, but authenticity, it echoes. You will often be imitated, but you will never be duplicated because you are God's masterpiece. You are handcrafted. You've been refined through pressure and sealed with purpose. So walk boldly in that. Love deeply, lead well, and live freely as the masterpiece you already are. This is Misti Green. Pull up a chair. The table has been set. And authenticity, it remains undefeated.